Destroy him, my robot.
Hello everybody, Crow here, and this is a video response to edt1138's Top 3 Tuesday, the tag with, I guess this was subcontracted out to Danny4842 for the actual topic of the Top 3 Tuesday. Now, if you didn't know, edt1138, every Tuesday that I know of, has come up with a top 3 where he, he puts out what's your top 3 this, what's your top 3 that, and I think I've explained that before in one of my Crow Show episodes, but I hardly ever respond, and it's, typically because, not that I don't want to respond, but, I just don't have the time to respond, or you got to pull up the camera and everything. But this one I had to respond because this is top 3 favorite video game cover art, and I really like the cover art in games and stuff. What's on the label, what is on the box, and that's why I'm kind of a little bit sad of a DLC. Given the choice between a hard physical copy and DLC, I'm going to go with the hard physical copy. Not only because I'll actually have a physical copy, but because of the box art as well. And as time goes on, who knows, that may be a thing of the past. But for right now, I'm going to show you my top 3. I'm actually going to show one honorable mention too, because the criteria I had for selecting my top 3 was that it had to be stuff that I had. And one of the things I wanted to pick, I actually don't have the box to it, so I'll get to that later. But I want to show an example of what I don't like in box cover art. Now, when you say box cover art, it's not just the image, it's everything they put on the cover. And nowadays they're just putting so much stuff on the cover, it's hard to just appreciate what's on the cover. And as an example, I'm going to show off this Oda Media's Excellent. Now, what I don't like about this, it's an okay image, but what they do is they like here, for example, way over here, I'm like not even showing it, they had to put a little thing that covers the graphic that says inspired by the legendary Gradius. Okay, that's great. That's something you could have put on the back of the box. Another thing I'm annoyed with is the ESRB rating. When that started in the mid-90s, the box art to me just went downhill because it covers the box art. It takes away from the aesthetic from the front of the case. Now, okay, the logo of the company is okay, but it's easy to go overkill, and I'm going to show an example later of just overkill. And, with the Xbox as well, this is another reason I chose an Xbox 360 game, is because every cover art is framed by this greenish, fluorescent green Xbox 360 logo. And I can kind of see where that's okay. You got to know what system you're buying it for. But, let me just grab, like, a PS3 game. It's fine. Here, look, you got it over on the side, it's out of the way. It's a clear case, so it doesn't really matter, except for the Greatest Hits edition, which equally annoy me because they got to be red or some other weird-ass color. But look at this, just fluorescent green. It doesn't really frame the cover art that well, okay? Well, that's that example. Again, with the ESRB rating having to be on the front, I don't know why they have to do that. Why put it on the front? Look at movies. They don't have the rating of the movie on the front of the cover. Why do they have to do that with video games? Anyway, for a honorable mention, I am going to show off, Activision game, River Raid. Now, would have been in my 3rd place, would have been Pitfall, because I like the way, the graphic was. But Activision games had this theme where it had like the whatever action going on the screen accentuated by these lines indicating where the graphic came from, I guess. And it's just a nice simple image. It gives you a really good idea of what the game was like. It's framed pretty nicely, and you've got Activision River Raid video game cartridge. Just pretty simple. You know what system it's for. Each of these boxes was a different color, but River Raid is actually the best one that I have. So I'm going to put that in an honorable mention. Now, for 3rd place, it was really hard to decide. And if I had to choose again tomorrow, I'd probably choose something different, maybe. But I had to go to the Odyssey 2 games to see what I had, because those Odyssey 2 games can be really pretty awesome. with cover art, especially in the U.S. I don't know about other regions or whatnot, but here's the cover art for Attack of the Time Lord, which has nothing to do with Doctor Who. I just think that's pretty cool. I mean, you have the little blue bar up here, but it doesn't really distract too much. It lets you know that it is voice enhanced, which is important if you have the voice. But just that image is pretty awesome. All the Odyssey 2 boxes had this neonish graphic going on with a black background. Like most of their games had black backgrounds, but you have the Time Lord here with all the ships. It's pretty, and you have your own ship down here indicated shooting above. That's pretty indicative, whatever that word is, of what the game was like. In fact, there's screenshots on the back, and it's you can kind of see where they were getting all these images from the front of this case. And not only that, it's action packed. It looks cool, and it's just a lot of stuff going on. And very simple colors, and it's the kind of thing I like. For a number 2, I'm gonna have to show off The Legend of Zelda. Now, the reason this is number 2, reason why this is such an awesome box art, is because they actually made the cartridge part of the box art. They cut a hole in here and let the gold cartridge shine through. To use that as part of the image. And it's such a simple image too. You have this goldish box, Legend of Zelda, just a shield. And when this was re-released in the Classic series, they actually got rid of this and they put another thing with a heart there. It kind of it looked okay, but the fact that it had Classic series stamped all over it really was a big turn off. Really, this is simplistic, the way you want to go. You got the Nintendo seal of approval down here by Nintendo. Includes invaluable maps and strategy playing tips. Very simple, just something informative that, Nintendo Entertainment System, informative. On the front of the box, it lets you know that, hey, we're going to help you off on this adventure. Maybe it could have done without that, but the fact that it's there doesn't really hurt it. But the real draw is being able to see the gold cartridge in the box. I thought that was pretty awesome, and you really don't see that these days anymore. Having the cartridge or the disc itself be part of the package. I have seen it here and there, not necessarily for video games, but maybe sometimes for music CDs and stuff. But it's just a really, really cool effect. And, we'll just leave it at that. Now, if you've watched all my videos, you're going to know what my favorite box art is, because when I got this in the mail, I had to make a whole huge separate video just explaining how awesome this entire package was. And nobody is going to be able to dissuade me from thinking that this is the greatest box art of all time. And that is Archon. This is I've been watching other people's videos. Now, I'm sorry, it cannot come close to the box art of Archon. How simplistic it is. It's just black and white, such an awesome image. Now, it doesn't say what system it's for, because back in these days, they had a shrink wrap over it with a sticker on it that said what system it was for. But this is the Commodore 64 version. This box was also for the Apple IIe version. Now, back before Electronic Arts was completely evil and crappy, they were really awesome in the mid-'80s. So games published by Electronic Arts came in like this pseudo mini LP style, package, and it highlighted the artists. And the reason they did that is because they wanted to treat the programmers like rock stars. They wanted to put the names of the people who designed the game forward. Wanted to treat, and that's why it's like an LP, like they were artists, and they technically were. And and that's what EA was all about back in the day. The mail order monsters, Marble Madness, every game they published came in a package like this. Now, fortunately, they didn't publish every version of Archon. The NES version was published by Activision, and that box art can't hold a candle to this. I'd show you that, but I don't have it. But I will show you the Atari XE version of Archon, the packaging for that. This just looks completely lazy. They took the image, shrunk it down, put a big giant border around it with Atari XE logo on it, and it does not have the same effect as this. So Yeah, not even close. Which one would you rather have, you know? But then again, this was a cartridge too, so you couldn't have the flatness of this. But still, really, you gotta do this big giant border. And that's another thing I was gonna point out before, is that I hate it when they do stuff like this. Oh, they take a game, take the cover art, shrink it down, put it in the middle of the packaging, and then put crap around it. And what's that all about? Anyway, yes, Archon, the greatest video game box art of all time. You cannot convince me otherwise. Thanks for watching. Check out edt1138. Also, Danny4842. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time. Archon's the best. Bye.
Oh, sweet information superhighway. What gem bring you me from the far reaches of cyberspace?